Hooray! I think we are live. Let's see if this thing's working. It's working! Oh my God, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I think I figured out how to use these machines. I'm very proud of myself. There's my buddy MC Murr. Everyone say hi to MC Murr. And he can say hi back. Hey, and here comes... We got a special guest tonight, and there's his own camera right there. Look at there. There's John from GenXGrownUp. What's up, John?
How's it going?
Now, if I push this button, we are all three at the same time on the same screen. It's amazing. I am so proud of myself.
You are the king of technology.
I am proud of you guys for being here, and I'm proud of everybody who's going to sit around and watch this thing and watch our silly podcast. We've got a lot of cool topics for you tonight. Murr, again, we have a special guest. We've only done one other special guest, and that was Smash JT. And we like to bring, something new to the party every now and then, and maybe every once a month you'll get a guest out of us, something like that. As it stands, this is Murr's special guest, I consider it. And Murr, what do you think of the GenXGrownUps? Let's explain who they are first before we get into talking with John.
What the hell's a GenXGrownUp anyway?
I may be their biggest fan yet, but it's something that I stumbled onto by accident, as most things are when I find them. I'm hearing some echo coming from behind there.
Yeah, maybe it's probably that phone situation, but it could be my microphone. It could be my speakers. The feedback situation could be real, but right now it seems like we're doing all right with auxiliary mic input settings. So
interesting. Okay, well, whatever you did, I think that fixed it, as long as you can still hear me.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. But, yeah, I get 1,000,001 channels that pop up in my feed, and, it's hit or miss, but I really liked what Gen X was doing, and it just kept getting better the more I had watched it, and John and I had talked back and forth, because, I'm a commenter, I'm a liker,
Yes, you are.
I played the game. But what's interesting for me was the Pac-Man retrospective, and I was like, man, this is even better than I keep giving it credit for. I was like, this just, to me, is the caliber of specials you see on Netflix and stuff like that, the production value, and what it's doing for me sitting here with a cup of coffee. And then John takes me even further down the rabbit hole after I include him in a shout-out. I do the top 3, one of those things. I tagged. God,
yeah.
I tagged him, and that got us talking a little bit more. Then George disappears for a month, and they pull me in on the podcast. Again, further down the rabbit hole I go. Who knew there was a Gen X
keep pulling you in.
If you're not enjoying the Gen X podcast with a cup of coffee, you're missing out, and I feel horrible for you. But the good news is you can get coffee, and you can listen to the podcast for free at GenXGrownUp.com. So, great bunch of guys and stuff that I really relate to as a somewhat Gen Xer, although I guess the term Xennials may be more along the lines of
You're right on the end, you count.
That's what I relate to, and that's what I connect with, and it really speaks to me. So, that's who they are and what they do, and John might could even field that question better than myself since he is a Gen X grown-up. But yeah, stuff that I'm just very much a fan of. And would be, even if he told me to take a hike and jump off a cliff next week, I'd probably still listen and tune in because I enjoy it.
I don't think you're in much danger. Cool. Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, I guess, I met Murr, just same thing, stumbling around, came across your findings and scavengings. And from then, I'm like, man, this guy is bananas. He does. Yeah, he's
got to look around. You don't know where they're going to be. Are they over there?
Yeah, that's right. We started watching his stuff and loved it, and I started commenting and found a kindred spirit. And so all the stuff that you said, neat stuff, and now to have me on the CaptNRetro show, big time.
Hooray.
Big time.
Yeah, that's big time, right?
I'm there. I've arrived.
You guys are silly. Murr, I'm going to attempt to fix the microphone problem or the feedback issue. Let me plug these earphones in and just see how that works. We're testing it live. We didn't go live earlier. You still hear the feedback? Okay. Well, now I've got a thing in my ear. I feel like Uhuru. And Captain, we're going to keep this ship going straight. So, guys, I feel like, to be honest, my definition of a Gen X grown up is are your parents baby boomers? If your parents are baby boomers, then you're a Gen Xer. And, because people from the baby boom generation born us, or bore us, that's, I don't know year wise, because I had a buddy, Brent Butler, a guy we went to high school with, his folks were in their 60s, like when we graduated high school. You know what I mean? That's old. Were they baby boomers or were they pre? But he was our age. So what, you know what I mean? Like it's all kind of weird things and years, but really what it stands by and what I think of is I'm just a nostalgic person at heart. And I don't like labels, really. I don't really want to call myself a Gen Xer, but if I was going to, I would call myself a Gen Xer. So.
But the idea is that yeah, we love the things that you and I both love. Murr and Captain. It's we love video games and movies and TV and gadgets and all that crap. And we just talk about the fact that we never bothered growing up. We got older, but we're not going to give up the stuff that's fun stuff. So
right.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat. Yeah.
Okay, so we've just figured out the audio problem. Apparently, when I plugged in my headphone, that killed y'all's audio being heard by anyone. And really what the deal is because it's OBS, I'm bringing in a Windows source, and it's feeding the audios from my computer like it's been doing. There is no way that we know of right now to get a direct feed from this camera and this camera. It sounds great on my end. It sounds great on y'all's end. It might be a little choppy in the broadcast. What the fuck can we do about it? Nothing. It's going to happen with Google Hangout. It's going to happen with Skype. It's going to happen with Discord, apparently. So
you're stepping it up, though. Getting better.
We're just going to go. Yeah, it gets better every time. The image is much cleaner this time around than anything has been. So I'm proud of that. And we're just going to keep going down the road. We're new here. I'm new here. We're not really new here, but we're new enough to this. And you guys all look like you got a nice tan going. I look like a pale white ghost in comparison. I think it's just the darkness of the room. Anyway, Murr, I know you're a topic-laden mofo. Let's lay those topics down. What you got for topic number 1? You're going to be main cam. Boom.
Cut him loose. Go, Murr, go.
Well, you may remember that in not too recent past, I did a little expose on Power A controllers and what pieces of hog diarrhea chunks they are. I received a comment on them recently about the Microsoft controllers, about somebody saying that they had got a Microsoft controller recently, and that it was a piece of crap. It didn't feel the same as the Xbox One controllers that they started with. I'm hearing the echo again, by the way.
Yeah, again, it's because it's coming out of my computer speakers. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know.
Just tweak your speakers down a tiny bit, maybe, and they'll love it. Yeah. Ooh, echo.
But at any rate, I could dig what he was saying because I have had similar issues. Microsoft offers their custom shop controllers that you can order and get done in any way that you like, and we got our feet wet with that, getting Molly one for Christmas because that's something that she wanted. She went on there, designed herself on the site. We got it in. But we got it in quick. I mean, it was in just a couple of days, and it came in from Shenzhen, China, which, if you know anything about Shenzhen, China, if you order knockoff computer, console, controller parts, a lot of times that's where it comes from. A lot of cheaply made stuff there. Apparently that's just their jam. That's what I know about it. But here's the controller. Now, it does look like an Xbox One.
Hold on. Back to the main cam. Sorry.
Yeah, this is Molly's. Of course, it's got her gamer tag, Pixel Princess 08. She designed the different contrasting pinks, the metallic triggers. It seems really nice. But when you hold it up against my Advanced Warfare controller, the weight, I don't know, the weight's almost the same. The shell feels maybe thinner, cheaper. It doesn't. And to be fair, she hasn't had any issues with this yet. But when I saw that it came out of Shenzhen and that the material was a little bit different, I was like, who's actually making these? Because if Microsoft is subbing this out to a third, fourth, fifth party or whatever, and we really are paying top dollar for these for something that's really not the caliber of what comes with the console, that's not okay with me. And I know we just got done coming off a little bit of trying to say what Microsoft was doing right. But again, these are more expensive than just buying a replacement controller. I mean, these go for upwards of $100 shipped after you pick the parts out and certain bells and whistles. And you know, you can get scuff controllers and these customized ones for not a whole lot more, and they probably will be higher quality. So, who is actually making these? There's actually, and let me back up. There is an issue. All right, the home button. When you turn on the system, there's a little bit of a delay. You can hit the button and let go, and then nothing happens. And it's like, wait a minute. You actually got to press and hold it for a while to get it to come on. And it does that sometimes during play, too, when you're trying to go back to the dashboard. Again, not the same as what my controller does that came with the system originally. Not a
think those electronics would be identical, wouldn't you?
You would. So if there's anything there and it's you know, and it's on the negative, then we have to assume we're not getting a quality product here, but it does cost more than just a plain black original Microsoft Xbox One controller replacement. Is that fair? And I would be interested to ask the viewers at home what their situation is on that. Have you ordered these? Have you got any of these? Do you have a friend that has one of these? Do you enjoy these things? Do you have one of these controllers? Controller, and then your controller work well. I would like to hear about that and any similar stories. Again, I had that feedback on that video, and guys like, hey, yeah, PowerA sucks, but hey, my Microsoft one I had ordered also took a dump within a year, and it's like, God, I spent a lot of money on this. Is it gonna have a similar fate?
Right.
Yeah, it looks nice though.
I've never bought a third-party controller and been happy with it. To be quite honest with you, I've never owned a third-party controller I thought was awesome. Yeah. The only ones I've ever gotten were
third-party though. I mean, it's branded Microsoft, right?
It's through the Microsoft.
Yeah, but clearly it's not.
It's
kosher, not exactly.
But
the
it
same.
came in looking like the cheap PlayStation replacement cables that I ordered for my yard sale systems. You know, the custom sticker and everything on it. And it was here in just a few days. So it's like, is this like a build your own pizza at the CC's or whatever? I mean,
it's Little Caesars. Those controllers are hot and fresh. Just stop and grab them.
But it's like, was this sitting there under a heat lamp and it was ready to go? I mean, obviously not. It had to be custom done. But how cheap is the process there for it to be able to be done that quickly? And then the noticeable differences in the quality of the actual material. It's just alarming.
All right, Tark Scontless saying he's having a hard time hearing Andy. George was mentioning that it's Andy's audio, and I'm guessing it's that phone system, man. Did your wife, was she able to pull up the app on the computer?
I have no idea. So let me take a look at that, and then maybe you can pull me back in. I don't know. But yeah, if my sound's not coming through, I don't want to continue to mess it up. So.
Yeah, see what we can do about that. I don't really have another cam set up for just me and George, but I can maybe work on that while we're doing something here.
Okay, well, I'll just mute this for a second. Y'all move on to the next.
Yeah, or go, while you're doing that, see if you can get the computer pulled up, and, me and George will go over the next topic here. He was having problems downloading the app from the website. There was issues with his computer.
It wasn't updating on his PC, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't updating the Discord app, and so we had to pull him in through his phone, which totally worked. He answered the call right away, but he couldn't answer the call through his phone or through his computer. So,
all right.
Thanks for the input, Tarks. We're gonna get on that. Geeks Podcast in the house. Everybody, Too Tough for You is in the house. We got real YouTube celebrities in the house. That kid's channel is huge. He's my buddy Jason's son, and he has his own YouTube channel and does a lot of Roblox. Is it Roblox? Is that how you pronounce that game? Roblox?
I think it's Roblox.
Roblox, and does a lot of stuff like that, and lots of trolling with his Roblox characters and stuff, and making things for people. He's great. Good stuff. Let's see. There's the CaptNRetro logo is not working now. Oh, there it is. It's up now. So that's up. That seems to work. I don't know if I can build another scene until Murr gets ready and either gets back on and cams up with us or sees that thing actually works. If not, I don't mind using the phone. I know it's a little bit muddy on his end.
Yeah.
And I apologize for that. But, John, you got any topics for for what you want to talk about, I'll leave you up on.
I always have something I can ramble about. All you have to do is point at me and I can talk. It's fine. I'm like a meteorologist at a TV station. Boy, if there's a drop of rain, he can go for 45 minutes and talk about the high pressure system and the inverse flow or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to talk a little bit about. I know that Murr was going to chit chat some about what a good deal Xbox Gold has been lately. He's going to jump into that some more in a minute, I know. But I've started to get deep into a bunch of the indie games that are on Steam. Now, I didn't go down the road of Xbox One when it came out initially, just because I was a huge Xbox 360 fan. All of my friends were. We used 360 constantly. And I travel for work a lot. I'm like, I'm going to get this Xbox One when it comes out because it's the next logical step. So why wouldn't you, right? And the problem was I used to tote an Xbox 360 around with me in my suitcase because, I got to play games on the road, and I was on the road like 90%. And the cool thing about the Xbox One was you didn't have. Initially, they said you were not going to have to tote discs around. You could actually have like licenses and install things on your hard drive. And then people got freaked out about that after the announcement because they're like, return policy is going to be terrible. If the physical copy isn't the license and the license is on there like a Steam model, they're upset about the resale value. And so when Xbox One, Microsoft, they flipped on that. Like, you know what? Forget that. You will have to have the physical disc when you install it after all. And like, that doesn't help me any. And that was, a few years back. And that's when I turned the corner on Steam. And the great thing about Steam is like the Xbox Live Arcade, there's so many indie titles that are so good. We did a live stream a few months ago on a pre-release called A Containment by Finite Reflection. That just came out. And George, who's our marketing guru, he's done lots of marketing where he's been working with some other developers. We have another live stream coming up for a game called Aquatic Adventure of the Last Human. And he's got one slated for a game that's supposed to come out 2019 now. The great thing about those indie developers on Steam is they're hungry. They're not on big platforms. And the fact that it's on Steam means it's, there's great people working on that stuff. And those guys want the publicity and they want to be heard. So it's great for a little channel like us to be able to talk to those guys. So I love those niche games that are coming out on Steam now.
Indie games, I don't have Steam. I'm not on that program. I'm not a huge computer gamer per se. Yep. Or at least I'm just not on it. I never really used it, but I love indie stuff. The Xbox Live indie games on the 360 and on the One.
Same idea.
I download a lot of indie games and check them out. I love playing quirky little things. So that's awesome.
Yeah. And before
situation, if you can hear me any better, but
are you back on the computer or are you on the phone? What are you on?
No, I'm still on the phone. I just made some adjustments there. I thought maybe the cable was giving it problems. So I have, again, we're doing some work here in the background, so it may or may not be ready for our session here. But you get a little feedback on what the sound actually sounds
pretty good to me.
If that's any of an improvement.
They were thinking maybe you were just a little too far away from the phone, and it's like a little bit of a canyon kind of situation. So you might want to sit a little closer to the image and be right up on the phone. It doesn't bother me. I hear you fine, and I know that the broadcast might suffer from it, but what doesn't on YouTube? What doesn't suffer on YouTube these days? So, and that's another thing I wanted to bring up. My one topic, and now that you're back, and I wanted to get your opinion on it. We talked a little bit about it on the last episode. Something just happened. I don't know what that means, but y'all, I don't know if you're watching the screen, but one of my little things just went off. Somebody did something. Well done. You made something happen on the screen.
Pop up?
Yeah, some kind of alert thing just went crazy. I might have got a sub. I don't know. I might have lost one. You never know.
You're blowing up.
I think you lost one.
The audio for Gen X is low. They're saying the audio for both of y'all. So I'm going to crank up the computer again. If y'all hear echo, deal with it on your end. I don't care.
Okie dokie.
Okay. So, my topic, we touched a little bit on it in the last thing we did, and I've mentioned it a couple of my live streams, but the whole Todd Rogers, Billy Mitchell shenanigans and whatnot that have gone down in the last couple weeks, I don't need to bring up anymore. The facts are the facts. Everybody can go to the links and look up the information and see, the side-by-side comparisons of what proves they are not real. Why did it take till 2018 is my question.
Somebody just wasn't looking that close, maybe. I don't know.
they've been accusing him since that documentary came out. I've heard accusations online against both.
It's
Todd
the King
Rogers.
of Kong, right?
Yeah, since the King of Kong came out, and there's been, I'm not a huge high score aficionado. I don't go after speed runs. I don't play that. I'm not in that world. But that world seems very close knit and very, very much like it should be adjunctated. Scores should be peer reviewed,
right?
And they seem to be.
It needs to be reviewed outside of the peers. I think what you said is right. It's such a tight knit group. There needs to be some disinterested third party in analyzing this. Not just an old guy in a black and white striped shirt. There needs to be some more.
Right, and the vetting of the people who are allowed to be referees. And the system, what it seems to me like the process is it's cronyism, and everybody's like, hey man, if somebody says they've broken this score, here's a tape that proves me keeping my high score. That kind of situation, you know what I mean? Like, just wait till somebody breaks it and we'll throw this in, and you're the one who okayed it, and that's just sad.
So George is chiming in. He said we get a description of what you're talking about. I mean, you got to start talking. You said everybody knows what's going on. Maybe a good point is not everybody does, right?
Maybe not everybody does.
Billy Mitchell's high score. You're supposed to get high scores on the arcade hardware for what's the name of the governing body? Twin Galaxies. It's supposed to be on the arcade hardware, right? And they did some analysis of the tape. So Billy recorded his entire tape. The tape actually he delivered to Walter Day during King of Kong, and they were questioning should they admit it or not. They've gone back and analyzed it, and I won't bore you with how, but they've determined that he was absolutely playing on MAME. He was emulating. He wasn't playing on genuine hardware.
And on more than one tape. Now, just the King of Kong tape is one, but right. On other situations where he claimed he had a high score. So. Yeah.
And I would assert that's fine if you want to play on MAME. I play on MAME and love it. I don't have a Donkey Kong cabinet, but I'm not going for a world score either.
Right.
Just the fact that it's not on the hardware means it's open, it's suspect. And it's possible to be not right.
And with the Todd Rogers situation, Todd Rogers is Mr. Activision. If you don't know who he is in that King of Kong documentary. He's one of the Billy crony buddies. He's got crazy long hair and looked like, he was the surfer kid. He was one of the first poster boys of high score stuff back in the 80s. Yeah. And his dragster world record, which is an Atari 2600 world record,
people claim is impossible.
Since 81 or 82, something like that, he had posted a score of 5.51. And a guy I watch a lot of, Ben Heck, the Ben Heck Show, there'd been some rumors and some things going on, and this one guy, I'm not sure what the other dude's name is, he was one of the bloggers or a vlogger poster guy on the forums for the high score stuff. He made a breakdown and did a breakdown of the 2600 hardware and did a computer build of it to do a speed run and taught the computer how to play the game perfect, and the computer couldn't do better than 5.57. So it's impossible. It's a statistical impossibility to beat the computer on it and be better at it unless you have janked the hardware somewhere along the point and you're working with non-real stuff or cheats. And that's what, so 30 plus years of claiming you're the best at something is proven to be false, along with a number of other records. And he has been actually kicked out of the Twin Galaxies scoreboard. Now, the Donkey Kong scores are on the Donkey Kong forum. It's not... The Twin Galaxies still hasn't taken Billy's stuff down that's been proven to be false. As far as I know, the Twin Galaxies is still behind Billy, which is incredible in the face of such evidence.
And the reality is, he probably got the score just fine. I don't think he was cheating, but the point is he misrepresented what he was doing.
Right.
I'm sure maybe you got the score, but you lied about the fact that it was on hardware.
Right, and you can tell the tapes are edited, and it's with the main thing he had and the system they were using, it's possible to go back and clean edits, or you can make a switch where it's barely noticeable type of thing, and that's what was going on. And even on King of Kong, you could see that score rollover. In that documentary, you see that they question it there, and even Walter Day is questioning. Well, there's a little bit going on with the score roll. Okay, well, we're just going to accept it. We're just going to accept it, and they just. They love that.
Gamer says, "Oh, you guys are talking about my high score."
Oh, Shaman's gamer. Well, Shaman, if you are Todd Rogers, that's incredible.
There you go.
That's incredible, sir. Well done. Well done to fool people for 30 years. And it just brings to light the fact that I don't want to bring up politics and news on this show a lot, but the world, we had another mass shooting in Florida, and it's just. one is too many, and what is going on. Like, I'm a gun owner and I believe in gun control, and I don't think any new laws are going to stop it, but we got to do something and about this crazy world we live in. And every celebrity is now in trouble with sex problems, and you know what I mean, like everything that you've ever thought is a good thing or something to be an ideal is turning out to be false, it seems like, in 2018.
And all that to be fine, but now the Donkey Kong high score, my entire worldview is destroyed.
Shattered.
So.
That's what I'm talking about. Completely shattered. So
we've talked recently about speed running too, and issues with people emulating when they do that, and in using emulators, they're using programs that allow for you to use certain exploits that allow you to get those times. And so it's not even worth reporting that you got records on some of those games because of the fact that you did that. My question, to people like Billy Mitchell and those guys is like, you're already better at the game than I'm ever going to be. I got to wonder why the push is so hard to continually beat those high scores and go down the road where you're going to get busted eventually using an emulator or something like that. I mean, why wouldn't you just do it straight up for the sake of argument? I mean, he of all people would have the ability to do so, Right. There's plenty of people, like you said, you don't have a Donkey Kong cabinet in your living room, so why would you do that?
Yeah.
And
he has the wherewithal to get one of those cabinets if he so desired.
Right. So that's just, I wanted to talk about that briefly, and like that it's just sad. It's just sad altogether. Like, yeah. It's sad that you had to lie, and it's sad that you kept it up for 30 years, and it's sad that everybody believes it, and it's sad that there's people out there who still defend their lies. Like on some of the forums and stuff I read, like I'm like, who could still be behind these guys? And like, or Twin Galaxies altogether. How did they become the number one, know all, be all, end all of high score postings if they are so ill conceived?
Like they were just a right place, right time place. They were a big enough arcade that was still around, and they were situated in the right geographically with the high high scoring gamers were coming to that area. So
Ottumwa, Iowa? It makes no sense. What is in Iowa?
Well, well, it goes to show you, it doesn't matter where you are. Just lightning just struck.
Right.
Why is PewDiePie huge on YouTube? Is it because he's that amazing? I think he was the right guy at the right time in the right place. It just happened, Right. And it fed itself. Kind of, you hear a Twin Galaxies like, oh, I want to go, and it became nobody goes to Iowa voluntarily otherwise, I don't think.
Right. That's what I mean. What's up, Retro Lectors? They're in the house. Everybody who's in the chat, thank you so much for joining the screen. Uh-oh. Something's happened. We've lost George. George's gone green.
Can you hear me still?
Well, I can hear you, but your camera's gone. There, your camera. You killed your camera.
Never had George.
Okay.
That's right.
I thought you went to green. I was going to go to plaid if you were going to go to green.
No, I was green with envy over that pink controller that Mur has.
I saved the specs on it if you would also like to get
Well, thank you so much. So, hey, while you're talking about controllers, can I chime in with something? I did a walk and talk probably, I don't know, about 3 months after we started the channel, actually. We've not even been around a year, about this controller that I backed on Kickstarter called the All Controller. Have you heard of this?
No, but it sounds like it'll control everything.
Well, you should go in my back catalog and see what's on GenXGrownUp. There's lots of great stuff. But I backed this controller on Kickstarter called the All Controller. And the cool thing about it is it's designed to work with damn near everything. And the way that it works is it has logic built into it. So it doesn't matter what driver you have necessarily, or how do you remap something, or how to use it as a keyboard. All the programming and mapping and combos and everything you want to do, you map right into this little LCD on the screen.
Oh.
And I backed it, and it was supposed to come out around the end of the year or so, and it didn't. But it's got pushed out to, I think, May or maybe June now. But it's supposed to work with, Xbox and PS4 and Wii. It's got motion controls in it. They have an alternate, so you can have either the DualShock side-by-side sticks, or you can have the offset kind of Xbox 360 sticks, your choice. And I want to say it's less than $100, and it works with Switch and everything. So the idea of having, like a J.R.R. Tolkien-esque one controller to rule them all is pretty promising. So they're taking pre-orders now. They're out of the Kickstarter backing phase, but they have enough support that now they're in just the pre-order phase if it's something you want. So I'm excited about it. We're going to cover it when we get it. But the All Controller is what he's called.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm a first party control kind of guy. Like I think the PlayStation controllers are probably my favorite controllers of all time. The different iterations of PS controllers, and then I like when you play a different system, it's got its own controller. I'm one of those, like,
I hear you. Yeah.
the GameCube controller ain't the same without the GameCube controller. Or the GameCube ain't the same without that
Yeah.
GameCube controller. So,
well, you know about the PlayStation Now service, right? Where you can
Yeah.
stream PlayStation games on your PC.
yes.
So I got that thing because I never had a PlayStation. I was never in that ecosystem. We talked on the podcast a few weeks ago about this. That I started playing, and right away I got cock blocked by the fact that I was playing a Heavy Rain or something. You had to shake the controller, and my controller didn't have that. So I had to go pause, go to the store, and buy a DualShock, or it just wasn't happening. So it was worth it though. So now I'm streaming all kinds of third party, well, not third party, first party for PlayStation with a first party controller. I got a DualShock.
Awesome. I see Murr's trying to get some stuff set up again over there. You back, Murr?
Yeah.
Okay.
There he is.
Topic number 2. What else you got, Murr? Number 3, I guess.
Well,
Topic number 3, technically. I'm off count. I don't count. Numbers aren't my strong suit.
we touched a little bit on the Xbox Live games while I was off taking a look at that. I didn't get 100% of what John was rapping about there, but I'll go ahead.
I didn't steal your thunder. I just knew you were going to chat about it.
No. I just want to make sure we've already covered this. So
No.
Yeah. But I want to talk about the Xbox Live Gold games that you can get. And this isn't news. Everybody knows you can get those. But I was just thinking how much money a year I spend in dadgum games. And you know I do. The MC Mer show, it's not free. But, up until recently, and only because they've decided to step up on their end, PSN I'm talking about, Xbox Live has had better and more relevant titles. I mean, they're giving you not indie trash, not bargain bin
good stuff,
like real stuff that you may have already bought, but you may not have. I mean, I'm finding stuff all the time that I passed over at launch. It's like, hey, and now I get it free. Or it's good enough to where I can literally download it, sell my physical copy, and actually have made a turnaround. Even on top of what I paid for the thing retail. Because, I mean, and that to me means people aren't taking advantage of Xbox Live Gold out there. Or why would you need to buy my copy for the system that when you log on, the game is free? I mean, well, what if they don't have internet? Who doesn't have freaking internet? People used to say that 3 or 4 years ago at GameStop when I was, with them, and they're like, who are you talking about? An Eskimo? I bet they've even got Wi-Fi in the igloo or whatever. So my point being, $60 a year, and it won't even be that, because if you stick to the sales and you buy your year card every year during the holidays for the low introductory rate of $39.99 for the holiday price, you're never paying more than $40 a year for the Xbox Live membership. That's not all I'm getting at, though. You could figuratively buy a console and a year of gold at that price, $40, less than you pay for a day one title, buy no physical games all year, and still end up with a full hard drive and a backlog.
That's crazy.
Has anyone actually done the Xbox Live Gold Challenge? I don't even know that exists. Patent pending. Xbox Live Gold Challenge. Don't buy a game for an entire year. Now, there's probably people that could beat every free game, but like somebody like me with limited spare time, I know just the free games on Gold would keep me busy for the entire dadgum year. Yep. And I don't want all of them, but usually at least one of the 2, or say 4, because 360 has its own, are games that I'd be a player on. This month, I believe we have one of the Assassin's Creed Chronicles is up. I just downloaded Zombie. It was Zombie U on the Wii U. Skipped it on that because it was too expensive and didn't get the greatest reviews, but was still one I wanted to play. And it just goes on like that. I mean, the Evolve Complete Edition. I mean, I could sit here and just tell you all these games that they've done on there, and it'd be like, Lords of the Fallen Complete Edition, all DLC free. Here you go. Games that I would have otherwise probably picked up physically had they not stop. You can have it free. So isn't this kind of an overlooked system seller? And again, PSN has started to step up a little bit, but people are often quick to say, "Oh, I'm getting a PS4," and that's fine. I would too. Wouldn't have it any other way. But if you wanted to go that route, and here I am, if I'm the salesman trying to sell you an Xbox One, that would be a big selling point for me. Look, with what these guys do for a service you're paying for anyway, assuming you're going to want to be online, You're going to have games for an entire dadgum year. I don't have to see your ass again. Go home and play.
That's crazy. I like the EA. Is EA Live service thing on PlayStation Network as well, or is it just on Xbox where you can? I have a subscription to that where the EA games, they all kind of.
That's a good question. I don't see anything about that on PSN.
Yeah.
Xbox puts it in your face and makes sure you know.
Yeah,
hey,
they do.
Free if you have the EA.
Yeah, that's how I've played all the the soccers and the FIFAs.
Which is a great service.
It is. I love it. And Titanfall was on there very soon. Like it was right after it came out. Titanfall was up there for free. It felt like, and that's how I played the first one. I liked it. So, I have not played Titanfall 2 though. You liked that one, didn't you?
Absolutely adore Titanfall 2. It's extremely underappreciated, and I mean visually what you're getting there, what Respawn is able to do, and when there's a third, I will buy day one because again, you want to step in. You actually want to go there. You want to talk about Titanfall? Titanfall gave you what you wanted. How dare the gaming? They gave you what you wanted. Here it is. No campaign, no BS. This is all online, and it's not pay to win, and it's not loot packs. Play this, you'll love it. Oh, but there's no campaign. What, you need the part of the game? It's over in 6 hours. Everybody just trashed Titanfall. The game sucks. It doesn't have a campaign. It just shows. God, I'm a gamer. I shouldn't be talking about the gaming community, but these people as a whole, all they know how to do is whine and complain. And they're giving you what you want. This is a campaign. Well, you didn't want campaigns. You never wanted a campaign. They finally put all the work into the multiplayer and give you something crystal clear, and you try to call it a turd. Titanfall ultimately failed. Speaking of things you could have got free with gold, I ended up getting Titanfall, the complete edition, all the DLC for $5 in a gold sale. Sold my hard copy of the vanilla game on 360 for $10. Made money on the deal and came out smelling like a freaking rose-scented turd. So now you get Titanfall 2. And Titanfall 2 also recently did a publisher sale where you could have upgraded to the deluxe at no cost. And GameStop will gladly buy your first copy for $30, what you paid. And, I'm digital. I have everything. It's all inclusive. It's just a beautiful game. And yeah, the movement probably was a little better in the first one. Again, they're just trying to get the feel for what everybody wants. And every time they give you that, they want the other thing. It's just like you're dealing with a baby. Here, you want this? Okay, you don't want that. Well, here's this. Oh, you don't want, well, here's this again. That's the gaming community, man. You can't please everybody. So I just hope that at Respawn, they're looking at just making Titanfall 3 whatever they envision to be the best thing ever. Because unlike most of these developers out here, unlike the developers of the turd I reviewed last night, Kingdom Come, Dog Shitiverance, or whatever the name it was, these people at Respawn know how to put a quality game together. They've done it twice, and they've got hateful.
Yeah.
And I'm not okay with it because, these people out there that want a real review on it, a lot of people probably skip this thinking, well, I didn't get good reviews, so I guess it's not going to be the game for me. No, you missed out, dude. I mean, and the community on PSN on there is just stinking. It's hard to even get a lobby going. It's just like, why aren't people playing this? It's freaking Robotech and Call of Duty had a baby. You can't lose. I'll stop now.
That's awesome. Or Shanman Gamer says, I like the fact that you get to keep the games no matter if you got gold, unlike Plus, you have to stay subscribed to Plus to keep playing games.
Very good point to bring up. That's you know what, and I'll give him this. That was not a bullet point on my list. That's a great point to bring up.
Yeah.
They're yours to keep. And I've got hard drives full of great games, and a lot of which I haven't even had a chance to touch yet. So, I mean, I have a digital free backlog. What an amazing time it is to be a gamer when you can have that.
That is true. The guys, cool ass Robert Payne has donated $1 to the CaptNRetro show fund here. I'm so proud. It's incredible. The first donation.
Do it, Carp.
Way to do it. Way to do it. Cool ass Carp. Cool ass Robert Payne. I like it. Carp. Is that the nickname?
That's Carp, man.
That's
Carp.
good. I like
Carp's
it.
the man.
If you're not watching cool ass Robert Payne, drop in on Robert Payne, some of the stuff he did. The toy collector, game collector, big Power Ranger guy. I never did figure out the Power Rangers, but boy, they made me smile when I was 3 sheets to the wind. But yeah,
I always wanted to
You're
like
like
the
Thor,
Power
man,
Rangers. We were just a little bit too old. I always wanted to like the Power Rangers, but they were a ripoff of Voltron to me, and I couldn't fucking abide it. I'm like, no, give me live action Voltron if you're gonna do this stupid shit. Now, again, that was 15, 16-year-old CaptNRetro. In hindsight, I can see that it had a lot of the stuff that I would love. Monster fighting, kung fu, a super hot Asian girl in yellow spandex. That's awesome. Like, there's cool things. And the coolest thing, I mentioned this earlier tonight, but I got to fly out. The captain has to go across the country on I don't know if I'm allowed to technically announce the situation, but the captain's going across the country for something big, and something I've worked on for a while and very proud of, and it involves a Power Ranger. There's a connection to the Power Rangers. One of the people involved in the project was the voice of Rita Repulsa on the TV show, the bad girl, the bad woman witch. And she is involved in the project that I'm working on, and I got to go across the country March 2nd. There's a premiere of something I worked on is going to be happening, so I get to go across the country and see my first movie premiere. Okay, it's a movie, but I really don't need to. I can't tell you too many more details on that. Everybody knows I work in. I do stuff in film and TV, I think, and my first big credit is about to pop on a film, so I can't wait.
There you go. Awesome.
And it ties in with the Power Rangers. Kind of. So, Murr, what else you got on the docket, buddy?
Oh, back to me again.
I let you be, unless John's got something. Who wants to? I got no topics.
I have something to riff off of one of Murr's topics, so I'm gonna let him get going, and I'm gonna chime in.
All right, because I was too busy trying to learn how to set all this stuff up to worry about topics.
I mean, if you've got something to add, come on with it, because I'll only shift gears on you. So.
No, You want to talk a little bit about some of these sub for sub parties, and I want to hear what you have to say about it, and I have some input from my perspective. So, lay it on me.
Given the time we were already into this, I wasn't sure if we were going to save that for next episode or not, but we might as well bring it in.
Oh, do it.
Called to our attention the existence of sub for sub parties. Now we all know sub for sub is kind of a dirty word, and we hope that
you can't even type it.
You sub with somebody and they sub to you, that it's mutual. And a great example of that is me and you, John. I genuinely liked your channel, and you genuinely like mine, and we do watch each other's content, and it's not just to make each other feel better. We do genuinely like it. That's the kind of stuff that needs to be going on YouTube if people are. And Smash JT did his streams about reviewing smaller channels, and there was a lot of sub for sub in there. But that's what I'll dig into in a minute. I would argue that between you and I, or between CaptNRetro and me, that isn't a sub for sub as is what's happening now, right? And neither was Smash's stuff. I mean, the people that I met in there, and vice versa. I found some really cool channels I did not know.
And that was a constructive thing.
That I think are very talented.
Yep.
That was also a constructive process to involve people and check out channels and give tips and help, and that wasn't sub for sub.
Organic thing.
Right.
But what we discovered, and I only say, stumbled onto, one of our viewers kind of has been shooting up in some subs, and he was like, "Yeah, man, you got
dramatically.
This guy right here, he can hook you up," and I'm like, I don't even know what that means, but I'll look at his channel, and I get into this guy's channel, and that game collector was also in on this. He went over there to check it out with me. We were kind of checking out what's going on in there, and it was a live chat, and this guy is doing a DJ thing. Hey, man, you got to sub to this guy and sub.
But was he saying that, or was he saying love?
He was kind of tripping over it. He'd stop saying, he would remind everybody, stop saying sub, because we're not supposed to be saying sub, or the YouTube police is going to come after us. He's like, I will love you. Do you love me? I love you. And all these people in the chat are going, hey, I love you. Love me back. Hey, so-and-so 51, I love you. You love me? It was weird, man. And it was, you think they weren't all gamers.
Right.
There hardly weren't any gamers. There was people that filmed trains going by, people that filmed stuff, people that filmed their kid trying to talk about something, you can't even hear them, people filming themselves taking a shit. None of it was related to any of itself. It was like, you just wanted to scream out, hey, none of you are going to watch any of each other's crap. It doesn't matter if you got 1,000 subs tonight, and a lot of them probably did. But you're never going to get 4,000 hours of watch time. You're not even going to get 10 hours. You're not even going to get one, because none of you are going to be interested in any of this. No one possibly could. It's terrible. And then you look at all these people, they've literally got less lifetime views than subs. That mathematically should be impossible.
Right.
The analytics alone should speak to these people. Hey, why am I even doing this? This is silly.
Or 2 videos and 300 subs.
And this isn't a threat to anything other than just YouTube's general integrity. It doesn't bother me. They can do whatever they want to do. But what I'm hoping is that no one else would try to go this route to try to beat their subs up and think that they're helping their channel. This hopelessly would stunt your analytics, and it unconsciously demotivates if you're the kind of person that's lung-headed enough to think that actually works. It helps nothing. I mean, the people who would do this anyway are not people that you would want subbing you either, because they're never going to watch a damn thing you do. But I was, we popped in the chat for a minute, me and DGC, and we were saying, yeah, wave your subs in the air like you just don't care. And I got 8 subs in like 2 minutes, and I was like, whoa, I backed out like, whoa, get this off of me, like Stallone in Demolition Man when he's having sex with the sensu ring.
What do the shells do? Did anyone ever figure out what the shells do?
But yeah, and it's already, the poop trickles downhill. Some of the people that were in that chat, I've looked, because I'm examining this. There's smaller people splitting off from the patron and doing their own little sub for sub farm stream. There's no content. It's a blank screen. At one point, the guy left to take a dump. There's just a rolling chat going on his thing that he's streaming. And they're the boobs, because he's getting the views, he's getting the clicks, he's getting the subs, he's getting the hours watched, because his stream went on for almost 12 hours that day. I wasn't there to see it all. You can see how long a video is once it's processed. So after my whole investigation, that's what I've come back with. And it's all just more culture, community toxicity as a byproduct of all the demonetization BS. And it's like, it all speaks to reason that everyone's like, oh, quit sweating the demonetization. And it's like, well, we should sweat it. Well, yes, but maybe not that hard. Not hard enough doing something like that. So I'll pause there for a minute. Your thought?
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Sub for sub.
Yeah. So here's what I want to riff off of that a little bit, Murr. So I want to talk a little bit about the GenXGrownUp dynamic. I've noticed not all channels are kind of built like ours is, where it's not just a me channel, right? It's a team of guys. I started the channel, but I have on my shoulder, on one shoulder, I have Mo, who's like this little angel. On the other shoulder, I have George, who's this little devil. And they keep me balanced. And and we talk a lot about, it's not just one guy in my head. The three of us talk a lot because we're working very hard to try to build something. And of course, these things come up like, well, boy, you want more subs, and we argue the very point about, well, what subs do we want? Who do we want subscribing to our channel? It's not, do I want the number on the subscribers of the GenXGrownUp channel to say 1 million? I would love it. But if that 1 million are people who never watch my stuff, granted, it helps, an algorithm somewhere to say, apparently a lot of people like this guy's stuff. But ultimately, the reason I do what I do and that we do what we do is because we want to share the stuff we're doing with people that are like-minded enough to want to enjoy it. And literally, if you're like, hey, buddy, it's like trading quarters. It's like, I got a quarter. You want a quarter? Or give me your quarter. I've gained nothing. I just swapped out a quarter.
Good way to put it.
There's no interest gained on that quarter. You're not going to come back and put extra money in my pocket later because I'm holding your quarter. Nothing has benefited either of us if all you say is, I subbed you, you subbed me. I was in a live chat in somebody's stream. I forget when it was. But I was just chatting. And 2 or 3 people said, hey, I just looked at your channel and I subscribed. And I'm like, great, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you very much. And somebody messaged me back, and it rubbed me the wrong way. They're like, hey, Gen X, you're getting a lot of subscribers. You better be subbing back. And I'm like, because you subbed me, I owe you a subscription? I should go and look at your stuff and see if it's something that I enjoy, but...
Okay, yeah, and I do that.
Am I obligated to sub because you subbed me? Is that the only reason that you subscribe to me? So that rubbed me the wrong way. I left right after that because I'm like, I'm not in a party. I appreciate you looking at my stuff, and I love that you wanted, but I don't care if you tick that little red button. I care that you say, hey, that's something cool I want to watch. That's what I care about. Yeah.
Pete's podcast is here. He says engagement greater than subs. And
I agree.
I had a guy that messaged me in one of my videos today it was about the Power A controllers. Again,
Yeah.
Not the same guy. He was talking about how he also bought a Power A and it broke in the same time frame that mine did, and he's pissed about it. And you know what I told him? I said, first of all, I appreciate your testimony because I've gotten some hate in the community.
Testify!
For spewing about this thing, because there's a lot of fake YouTubers out there that they sing the praises of Power A because they get free ones and they don't even use them anyway. That's also silly. But back on point, I told the guy I appreciated his comment and I appreciated him backing my play on it, and I invited him. I said, I'm asking you for the sub at this point. If this did anything for you, I enjoyed just talking with you just now. This exchange we did. It's not even about your sub so much as it's me and you now. I'd like to have another conversation with you about another topic in the future. Won't you join what we're doing here? And I'll check you out too if you do things. That's neither here nor there. We're bonding over common topics. That's what all this is about. That's what community is about. Yep. So yeah, again, engagement. If we're not engaging, we're not doing anything.
Right.
Yeah. If I have to beg you to like what I'm doing, I'm not doing something right.
Yeah, that's I've honestly always felt that about my own show. Like I use the words like, subscribe, and comment, but they are more used in jest than anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's very evident. Yeah. Like, subscribe, comment. If you like people to like, subscribe, comment.
I just don't get it. Like, it's we've talked about it before, Murray. It's the same thing.
What are the top 10 best ways to subscribe?
With our music, we were both in bands that weren't commercially viable, really. You know what I mean? They were artistic and good and very, very well made bands, but if you could get 150 people out to that show, that was an achievement. And really I don't know how people get 10,000 people to their concerts. I don't know. I guess I just suck. And maybe, you know what I mean? Like,
but you did, and you had great shows, and we did too, and they were big. They were jumping shows.
Oh yeah, and people who were very happy they were there.
Wrecked places, man. But it wasn't like we played Wembley Arena either. So.
Right. And we played some big stuff. We
had a great time.
We opened up for 38 Special. We had those nights where we got to open for 38 Special and Molly Hatchet. That was fun. But like,
ain't nothing wrong with
that. That wasn't our demo. You know what I mean? We were playing to like 50-year-old women and men, and like they didn't care we were there. They were there to see 38 Special.
Hey, don't be dinging 50-year-olds. I'm getting there.
Hey, I'll be there in 10. I'm 10 away.
So circling back on this one, and again, we talked about it being the culture, the community toxicity that's come again as more backwash, more weight from the demonetization. Because a lot of people have defended the demonetization in the sense that it's thinning some kind of herd. If anything, I'm seeing evidence of the exact opposite is happening. There's just more turds popping up everywhere. And my question before we close on this one is the damage done? Can YouTube bounce back from this, or was this really the last shred of integrity gone?
What do you think, Cap?
I mean, did it ever have any fucking integrity?
Did it ever have it?
Has it ever had integrity? Again, this will be the 500th time I've mentioned this on a live stream. I didn't know YouTube existed as a forum for your own television show until 2.5 years ago. It was, the middle of 2015, right at 2016, I realized, hold on, YouTube isn't just about people falling down and the people that can't sing and like a fish, a fish flopping out of the water and getting back in on the boat, that kind of shit.
Tutorial on how to change the light bulb in your
right.
63 Dodge Charger.
I was I've been aware of the Angry Video Game Nerd, but it never equated to me that was what other people could do, was making shows. That he has a show, and like, I don't know. I don't know that there's ever been integrity involved with YouTube in the first place, and especially since the monetization started. The minute people were able to start making money off their stuff, the freaks come out at night, you know what I mean? Like, here comes the crazy channels and the...
Well, they indirectly sent a message that said integrity's not going to cut it anymore. What a weird thing to even consider, but that's how they take that unconsciously. It's like, well, if I do things the right way and fly straight, no one's ever going to see me. So I can take for sub parties, do clickbait, upgrade thumbnails to weird resolutions that don't exist, take pictures of things that don't actually happen in my video. Just absolute. I mean, we could talk about it till the end of the month.
The people I feel worst for are the people who were not yet monetized, or they were just about to be. I know that little channels like us, that at least if we were monetized, and I was cashing in upwards of $4 a month. Let me tell you. So but there are things that we won't get taken away from us, like in-screen annotations and cards and things like that, that really help to drive traffic to people finding your stuff. And people that didn't have that yet, they won't get it until they make that next threshold. And that's crippling. I mean, that thumbnail is huge. Those annotations at the end of your video to, drive people to watch some more of your stuff, that's huge to build your channel.
Yeah, I don't know how that stuff doesn't become essential things that a YouTuber needs.
Exactly. That's a critical tool, I would think.
Right.
And I would be crushed if I couldn't do it. If they, I wish they had just grandfathered people, but I get they're trying to get rid of the riffraff, and I guess we're riffraff right now. I get it, because we're just clogging up the pipes with the our videos that aren't suitable for advertisers. Somebody's got to review it, but it's demoralizing if what you do it for are the numbers or to make money on it. So to your point, Murr, you said, is the damage done? Can it be undone? I think it's a scar that won't ever go away on YouTube. I don't think that can be fixed, but I think the bleeding will stop once people are over the fact that it used to be this and now it's that.
Well, another glaring issue is that you just touched on, making things that are advertiser friendly, and someone who's I'm going to bring him up again, Smash JT, somebody who's talked a lot recently about, hey, I'm doing that, and you're still pooping all over me.
Yeah, he can't upload something without it being dropped.
We slip, and Captain slips every time he opens his mouth because he finishes like a sailor on shore leave. And great, but even when you try not to do that, it's like, if that's not going to help. I mean, you're trying to make family-friendly, G-rated, anyone can enjoy it content, and they're still going to say, hey, this is not suitable for our advertisers.
Yeah, but that's not even it.
That's not it at all, because Leafy was here, gets fucking advertisers. Angry Video Game Nerd has advertising. He cusses like a maniac. Like, there's nothing.
That's true.
It has nothing to do with your voice. It has to do with what YouTube wants to push.
Yeah. Just about everything gets flagged. I mean, during the holidays, I did like a 45-second video that said, hey, happy holidays. We love what we've done so far. We're going to take a week off. And I took a sip of eggnog and I said, hey, and I'm wearing a Santa hat. Not suitable for advertisers. Wow. I appealed it. It was fine. But the point is, how does that get flagged? I don't know.
That's my question. That's part of all this. And that's damage that's done. And I don't know if there's a road back from pretty much just that's how it's going to be. They're conscious enough to repair it.
Yeah, and that's my point. I think it's a scar that won't heal, but the bleeding will stop. And once we get over the transition from X to Y, for me, and we've talked amongst us before. Luckily, that's the can I get paid is not the impetus for doing what we do. That's true of me. That's true of Mo and George at our channel. We're doing it because we love and sharing stuff. I used to work in broadcasting for almost 20 years. And I had this itch that nothing could scratch. I wanted to make content that people would see. And I'm like, I could do it of like nerdy crap that I do, because I never bothered to get older and stop doing that. and so I'm not having any less fun today than I was before they changed the rules. So I'm going to keep doing what I do. So luckily, because of the little corner of the YouTube that I live in, it hasn't hurt me because they took away something that I wasn't invested in,
Right.
Now, that's not true for everyone, I'm sure.
Well, I had just gotten to the plateau. Like, I had been eligible for payment for like 5 months, and I was making a little bit through Screenwave, not a whole lot, but like it wasn't about that to me. It was about the fact that you're telling me my shit isn't valuable, my time isn't valuable, and that if
I've heard you say that, and I don't disagree with you. Yeah, it's demoralizing in a sense that, like, hey, we said you were worth something. You're not.
You're not, and it's another hurdle to get over after you already got over that last hurdle, bro, that we put up in front of you voluntarily. And like, okay, and I do this for me. I fight for me. I make stuff for myself to laugh at and share with my friends and people who like it, and that's fine. And I do know this though, if I had something that went viral and popped off 1 million views overnight, I'd want compensation for that.
Yeah, but right now it's not going to happen.
No.
Yeah.
So, but then again, if it does, I mean, doesn't that push you to the threshold? Like if you get a video that pops 1 million views and like bang, wouldn't that?
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to be retroactive.
Right.
Yeah. I think that'll qualify the hell out of you for the
next
application process.
Right. So it's all out of your hands at this point, and it always has been out of your hands, and it's whatever Google and YouTube want to do, and let the team of monkeys that are ruining it run it with pushing buttons.
And frankly, they could change it again. We could get to that threshold. They could change their minds again, and that's okay. Because again, that's do I want to be successful? Yes. Do I want people to see my stuff? Yes. But I want people to see it that want to see it. And if there's only 20 of those people out there, great. If there's 1 million of those people out there, great. Will I feel better if more people see it? Sure. But that's not what's breaking my heart right now.
Right. And again, it's about what kind of subs you want and what kind of people you want as your
sub. Just like Mur was saying.
It's integrity. I will make my show my way, and I will not jump on bandwagons to get views. If tomorrow's big topic is Nerf footballs, with it's Nerf footballs becomes a huge thing, you'll see 15 is it worth it Nerf football videos up. You know what I mean? You'll never see a CaptNRetro Nerf football video. Although you might, the night ones that light up and they whistle through the air, that shit's.
I think they're probably worth
They have the tail fins.
Those are definitely worth it.
Well, that's about all the time I've got for tonight. But man, we covered some big ones here, and there's always more and more each subsequent podcast of interesting things to talk about. My back burners are already stacked up just based on what we've talked about here tonight. And John, I'm glad you could be here.
Thank you for having me here.
Yes,
I really
John.
appreciate you guys inviting me in.
Great taste of McDonald's.
And we will do it again. We will definitely have you back, and maybe get you and George and everybody, the whole Gen X crew, up on a podcast. That'd be kind of fun.
I'm sure they'd be up for it
if they're down for it. I've got an idea for the next guest, Mur. We will talk about that after this. I want to bring somebody else in, and but yeah, so much fun, so awesome. Thank you guys so much for checking out the CaptNRetro show and the Talking Retro podcast with all of us guys. Everyone, wave to the camera. We're all three on the screen now, so you can all wave goodbye. Thank y'all so much for checking it out.
Bye-bye.
If you want to stick around a little bit longer, Captain's going to end up going live again. Holy shit.
Whoa, a donation.
What just happened? Look, something's going to go into the cup. There's a little cup over here. It's a little beer mug. And eventually it's going to pop through and little thing's going to jingle. Holy crap. Geeks Podcast.
Geeks Podcast.
So cool, man.
Out of control.
I did last night. I went live with a new game show I wanted to start doing, which we had done a couple months back on a Google Hangout. We ended up kind of doing this during the Google Hangout, and I thought that's a good idea for a show, and I just never went around and did it. But it'll be last night. It was called Name That Chip Tune, and it's basically where I pick chip tunes that are modern music, but in 8-bit, 16-bit retro versions, and whoever names it first. We had a whole score sheet last night of people that were playing, and names. Tight White had some points. Smash JT was in there with some points. We're going to do that again. I'm pretty much going to start doing something goofy like that every night of the week for a while. Why not? I've got the time. Might as well do it. So, again, though, for CaptNRetro, for MC Mur, for John from GenXGrownUp, thank y'all so much for checking out the CaptNRetro Talking Retro podcast. Have a terrific evening, everybody.